What if I told you there is a place on Earth where time actually slows down, where a single drop of water, when we can take 100 years just to move, a world so deep that even sound struggles to survive, and a mysterious signal once echoed across an entire ocean, so powerful, which terrified scientists worldwide. This is not imagination. This is not a story. This is real. Welcome to Sleepy Science Universe, where science meets silence and knowledge becomes calm. If you are enjoying this journey already, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Sleepy Science Universe so you don't miss the next descent into the unknown. Now, no night, you are not just watching a video. You are descending into the deepest, quietest, and most peaceful parts of our planet. Relax your mind and let the ocean take you. The descent continues deeper into the unknown, to dissolve like salt in water. We are now drifting across the abyssal plains, vast stretches of the ocean floor that cover more than half of our planet's surface. Imagine a desert made of fine, silty mud, extending for thousands of miles in every direction, locked in eternal night. There is a quiet dignity in this darkness. The water here moves so slowly that a single drop would take a century to cross the plain. Let your thoughts move at this same pace. There is no urgency, no destination, only the soft weight of the present moment. In this world, we find sea cucumbers drifting like ghostly balloons just above the seafloor. They move with slow, rhythmic grace, cleaning the ocean floor from the remains of the world above. They are the quiet janitors of the deep, working in a silence so thick it feels almost physical. Now consider the pressure equivalent to an elephant standing on your thumb, yet life here is delicate, almost weightless. These creatures don't fight the pressure, they accept it. They balance it inside and outside their bodies equally. This is the secret of deep peace. Stop resisting the world around you. Let the outside world press in and allow your inner world to expand until there is no difference between the two. You are the ocean, and the ocean is you. As we drift deeper, we encounter the mysterious bloop, a sound once recorded by scientists that echoed across the entire Pacific Ocean for years. It remained unexplained, a deep, powerful frequency, too strong to be from any known creature. Later, it was discovered to be the sound of massive icebergs breaking apart from Antarctica. Imagine that scale, the Earth itself, speaking through ice and water, a deep vibration traveling through the ocean's core. It is a reminder of forces far greater than US slow, unstoppable movements like tides and seasons. There is peace in accepting what cannot be controlled. The ocean does not resist melting ice. It absorbs it. It does not resist the wind. It simply ripples. Be like water. Let thoughts pass across your mind like waves, while your depths remain still and undisturbed. Below us, the continental shelf drops into the Hadal Zone, named after the ancient underworld. But there is nothing to fear. Here it is, a cathedral of silence. In these deep trenches, like the Philippine Trench and Kermadec Trench, fine particles of marine snow float slowly for years, creating a dreamlike haze. It feels like moving through a forest of mist. Here, the temperature remains eternally cold, yet strangely comforting. Down here, at the bottom of your consciousness, there is absolute safety. Think about the salt of the sea. It is formed by billions of years of rain washing minerals from mountains into the oceans. This salt gives the water density, allowing everything to float with ease. Imagine lying on your back in the Sargasso Sea, a vast region of the Atlantic Ocean where golden seaweed drifts like floating forests. You are perfectly buoyant. The water supports your entire body, your spine, your muscles, your breath. You no longer need to hold yourself up. The sea holds you. The Sargasso Sea has no land boundaries. It exists only within swirling currents, like an ocean within an ocean. In the same way, your mind is a vast space defined only by the currents of your thoughts and dreams. As you drift towards sleep, notice your breathing becoming a slow tide. Inhaled tide rises, exhaled tide falls. This rhythm has existed since your first breath, connected to the rhythm of the planet itself. Even the strongest storms at the surface cannot reach the deep. Below, there is calm. Above may be chaos, but down here, everything is still. Consider bioluminescent sharks, like the kitefin shark, the largest known glowing vertebrate. It emits a soft blue-green light from its belly, blending into the faint light from above. Even in darkness, there is light. Even in light, there is concealment and safety. The ocean is full of paradoxes. It is the most powerful force on Earth, yet guided by the quiet pull of the moon. It is the origin of life, yet humans cannot breathe within it. It is mysterious, yet deeply familiar. As we near the end of this journey, the seafloor rises to meet you, soft white sand and crushed shells, forming a gentle bed beneath you. It shapes perfectly to your body. You are anchored now, still, deep, at peace. The total volume of the ocean is about 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of space, so vast it can hold every memory, worry, and dream, and still have room for more. Let your mind expand into that space. There is enough room. There is enough time. The ocean is not going anywhere, and neither are you. You are exactly where you need to be, in the cold, in the dark, in the quiet, in the deep. Imagine the journey continuing even deeper now, leaving the twilight behind and entering the zone of absolute shadow. The silence here is not empty. It is a heavy, rhythmic presence that vibrates in tune with the spinning of the earth. We are now drifting through the abyssal zone, a place where the sun has never reached in all of human history. The water is so still that if you dropped a single coin, it would take hours to settle onto the soft, silken floor. Think about the giant isopods that live here, ancient relatives of the common pillbug, grown to the size of a small cat. They move with extreme slowness, like living clockwork. They can go years without eating, their metabolism reduced to a whisper. Let your own body mirror theirs. Feel your heart rate slowing, your breath becoming a long, shallow tide that barely disturbs the air. There is no need for urgency here, only existence. As we drift, we pass eerie glowing forests of sea lilies. These are not plants, but animals shaped like delicate flowers, anchored to the seabed for centuries. Their stalks sway in currents, moving less than 1 mile per hour, so gentle it feels like a soft breath. Imagine being as rooted and peaceful as a sea lily, untouched by the storms above. Far overhead, ships fight waves and winds, but down here there is only silence and depth. The ocean is the world's greatest museum. More historical artifacts and shipwrecks are preserved here than in all the museums on land combined. Think of the Titanic, resting 2.5 miles below the surface, slowly being reclaimed by the earth. It is covered in rust-like formations, created by iron-needing bacteria turning steel into delicate orange fossils. The ocean absorbs everything. Below these seamounts lies the benthic layer, the boundary between water and earth itself. The seafloor is made of crushed shells from trillions of ancient organisms, compressed over millions of years. When you imagine resting here, you are resting on the accumulated history of life. The pressure is immense, but not hostile. It is protective, like a heavy, warm blanket holding everything in place. Consider the mysterious Milky Seas phenomenon, where vast regions of ocean glow with soft white light caused by trillions of bioluminescent bacteria acting in unison. From space, it looks like a glowing cloud on Earth's surface. Imagine floating inside that light, no shadows, no source, just endless soft illumination, a world made of calm radiance. As we go deeper, we encounter hydrothermal vents against chimneys on the ocean floor, releasing mineral-rich fluids that resemble thick, warm soup. Here, life exists completely without sunlight. It is independent, self-sustaining. It teaches a powerful lesson. Your inner peace does not depend on external conditions. Even when your sun is absent, there is internal heat within you and energy that keeps you stable in darkness. Tube worms living here have no eyes, yet they find warmth perfectly. They trust sensation over sight. You can do the same. You don't need to see the path, only feel the calm. The tides of the ocean are shaped by both the moon and the sun. When aligned, they create powerful spring tides. When at right angles, they form gentle neap tides. Now imagine your mind is in a neap tide, quiet, balanced, barely moving. The Pacific Ocean is so vast it holds nearly half of Earth's water. It is wider than the moon itself. Traveling across it, you would see nothing but endless blue for weeks. And yet that vastness exists within you too. You are not confined, you are expansive, like the Pacific itself. There is space for every thought to rise and fade. Think of the deep sound channel, where sound travels thousands of miles underwater. A whale in one ocean basin can communicate with another across entire continents. The ocean becomes a carrier of sound, a global instrument of communication. You are hearing that silent symphony, now the breathing of the earth itself. The salt in your tears is the same as ancient oceans. Every emotion reconnects you to that vast origin. We are walking fragments of the sea. Finally, imagine sea snow falling slowly through the dark water-teeny particles, drifting like underwater stars, feeding all life in the deep. It is a reminder that the universe always provides what is needed. Everything is becoming softer. Everything is becoming quieter. As this journey ends, feel your body like driftwood finally reaching shore, heavy still and resting at last. The tide is going out. The world is fading. You are the deep. You are the ocean. Imagine the journey moving into a new phase of silence. We have left the open plains and are now drifting toward the secret nocturnal world of coral reefs as the sun fully sets. On the surface, the moon rises, casting a silver path across the ocean, but down here, the reef awakens in an entirely different way. Most people only see reefs during the day, bright, loud, full of motion, but at night it becomes something deeper, a pulsing world of mystery. Corals, which look like stone or plants, are actually colonies of tiny animals called polyps. At night, they extend their delicate translucent tentacles into the water, swaying slowly like flowers in a silent wind. There is no hurry here, only precision, only calm. The reef becomes a shadow city, where the only light comes from bioluminescent organisms blinking like fireflies in a dark forest. As you imagine these tiny lights, let your eyes grow heavier. Each flicker becomes a signal to release tension, muscle by muscle, thought by thought. The water is warm, salty, and safe, a perfect cradle for your body. You are floating just above the reef, undisturbed, supported, and at ease. In the shadows below, we find the parrotfish. It performs something extraordinary before sleep. It secretes a transparent mucus cocoon around its body. This jelly-like bubble hides its scent and protects it from predators while it sleeps. Imagine yourself inside such a cocoon, soft, invisible, completely safe. No noise reaches you here, no stress, no demands, only peace. Further out, the reef drops into deep blue water, where manta rays move like flying shadows underwater. Their wings stretch wide, sometimes 20 feet across, yet they create no sound, no wake. They are weightless giants. Imagine moving through your own rest with that same effortless glide. No struggle, no force, only flow. Now we leave the reef's warmth and begin a deeper descent toward the abyssal trenches, the Hadal Zone. This is the deepest part of the ocean, found only in massive scars in the Earth's crust, like the Mariana, Tonga, Kuril-Kamchatka, and Philippine trenches. These are the cathedrals of the deep. The water here feels almost solid with stillness. Pressure becomes extreme, so intense it reshapes the chemistry of life itself. Yet even here, life exists. We find the snailfisher, translucent, ghost-like creature with a soft body that survives pressures strong enough to crush metal submarines. It reminds us of a simple truth: softness is strength. Rigid things break, soft things adapt. Let your mind become soft. Let your thoughts become fluid. What feels like pressure is not destruction, it is transformation. A warm, supportive weight holding you steady. You are not being crushed. You are being held. Think of deep-sea gigantism, where creatures grow unusually large in the deep ocean. Sea spiders the size of dinner plates, isopods the size of small dogs. In this world, time moves differently. Growth is slow. Life is steady. Nothing rushes. Imagine a world without clocks, only tides and eons. 2 hours of time would feel like a blink. Your problems become small, not because they disappear, but because the world becomes vast around them. Think of the deep starlight light created in darkness by bioluminescent organisms and bacteria living inside fish. Soft, pulsing blue glows appear throughout the abyss. It feels like a reflection of the night sky, but underwater. Above you are stars in space. Below you are stars in the sea. You are suspended between two universes of light. The water around you contains minerals like magnesium, calcium, and potassium, the same elements found in your bones and nervous system. There is no separation. You are made of the same ancient material as the ocean itself. You are at home. We encounter glass sponges against silica structures shaped like delicate cages. In some cases, tiny shrimp enter them young and cannot leave as they grow. They live their entire lives inside these glass structures, protected, supported, contained. Imagine your resting place like that, a safe structure holding you gently while the outside world moves on. Inside is stillness, outside is motion. Now think of the great ocean conveyor belt, a system of currents moving water across the entire planet. A single drop of water may take 1,000 years to complete its cycle. The water you imagine here has been everywhere: ice, steam, rain, ocean. It remains calm through all its transformations. Let that ancient water pass through your mind, washing away stress, noise, and tension, leaving only clarity. On the ocean floor lie manganese nodule small stones that grow only millimeters over millions of years. They are among the slowest growing objects in existence. Imagine holding one. It has existed through mass extinctions, the rise of humans, and the fall of civilizations, all in complete silence. It is still here, still growing, still patient. Let that level of stillness enter you. You do not need to rush. You do not need to become anything. You only need to be still. The darkness becomes your blanket. The silence becomes your song. The pressure becomes your comfort. As we reach the end of this journey, imagine your consciousness sinking into its deepest layer. You have passed sunlight, twilight, and midnight. Now you are in the abyss. No light remains, not even from the surface. But you do not need light to feel. You can sense the ocean around you in every direction, vast, endless, and calm. The world's sound has faded to almost nothing. Only your breath remains. It is steady. It is rhythmic. It is the tide. Sleep is not something you do. It is something you become. You are the deep blue sea. Imagine our journey shifting away from the deep trenches now, drifting toward the silent, icy cathedrals of the Arctic deep. The water here is so cold, it sits at the very edge of freezing, yet it remains liquid, a dense, heavy cradle for life. Beneath massive floating ice shelves, imagine the light, dim, ethereal turquoise filtered through hundreds of feet of solid ice. There is no wind here, only the slow creaking of ice above, like a distant wooden door opening. This is the world of the bowhead whale creature that can live over 200 years. Imagine a whale alive today that was already alive before engines, before electricity, when only stars and sea existed. Its movements are slow. Its breath becomes mist in freezing air. Let your mind become as ancient and still as the bowhead whale. You are drifting through time as much as water. The cold is not sharp, it is a cooling balm, settling the heat of thought into calm blue stillness. Below the ice, the seafloor is covered with brittle stars and sea. Now we move toward hidden coastlines, where ocean meets land, not at beaches, but deep underground. We enter underwater caves, the blue holes of the Bahamas and cenotes of the Yucatan. These are stone cathedrals carved over millions of years by slow dripping rain, formed when sea levels were lower. Now they are filled with still, silent salt water. Inside, stalactites hang like frozen stone icicles. There is no current here. The water is so clear, it feels like air. You are suspended in perfect stillness. Blind shrimp and pale ghost fish live here, creatures that have never seen light. They do not need eyes. They feel vibrations instead. Become like them. You do not need to see the world to feel safe. You only need stillness around you. The cave becomes a womb of the earth, a place where noise cannot enter. You are deep inside the planet now, held in absolute silence. Think of sunken islands called Gios once, tropical lands with beaches and palm trees, now resting thousands of feet below the surface. Over time, they sank as the Earth's crust shifted. Now they are flat-topped mountains under the sea, covered in deep sediment. A ghost world of ancient shorelines. Imagine walking on a beach 2 miles underwater. Palm trees are gone, replaced by giant sea fans, moving slowly in deep currents. This is memory turned into ocean. Sleep does the same. It takes the bright surface of your day and sinks it into the quiet depths of your subconscious. Your worries still exist, but now they are buried beneath soft layers of dream silt. You are standing on a sunken mountain, looking into endless blue-black space. There is nothing to do here. Nowhere to go. Consider cold water coral reefs, deep-sea reefs, growing in darkness, thousands of feet below the surface. Unlike shallow reefs, they are white and ivory, shaped like antlers or ancient trees. They grow only millimeters each year. Some have existed for over 10,000 years, older than civilizations. Built layer by layer, generation upon generation. Each breath you take now is like adding another layer of calm within you. You are building a reef of peace inside your mind. The water here moves slowly, thick like syrup, like time itself becoming heavy. It feels like a blanket of time pulled gently over you. Deep in the Southern Ocean, Antarctic bottom water flows so dense it sinks to the ocean floor and remains there for centuries. Imagine being that heavy, that grounded. Your body becomes weightless in awareness, but heavy in rest. Arms sinking, legs sinking, thoughts sinking like stone into soft seabed. Even Earth itself moves here at a pace slower than perception, tectonic plates drifting as slowly as nail growth. Let your life match this rhythm. No urgency, no forcing, only slow movement from waking into dreaming. In the mid-Atlantic ridge, new Earth is constantly being born, molten rock meeting freezing ocean, creating basalt pillows in silence. Fire meets ice, then stillness. Your dreams are like this, born from deep inner heat, cooling into peaceful landscapes of sleep. Even cracks in the earth become places of creation. So too, your thoughts. Think of siphonophores, long drifting colonies of tiny organisms stretching longer than a blue whale. They have no single brain, only collective drifting awareness. A single living ribbon in the abyss. Let your thoughts become like that, individual pieces drifting gently, No need to hold them. Just let them float away into darkness. Now imagine the Greenland shark again moving through Arctic waters where sight is nearly useless. It navigates through vibration, touch, and subtle signals. It does not need clarity to move forward. Only trust in the dark. You do not need to see sleep. You do not need to understand it. You only need to let it happen. You are part of 1.3 billion cubic kilometers of ocean. A drop within a tan, it within you. Marine snow has stopped falling. Vents are silent. Only deep blue remains. You are drifting. You are sinking. You are home. As we continue to drift deeper, the world above has become nothing more than a distant, fading memory. We are now suspended in the vast mid-water column, a place where gravity feels like a soft suggestion rather than a law. Imagine yourself surrounded by the bioluminescent symphony. In this endless night, life has learned to become its own light. Small, delicate jellies pulse with neon rhythms, casting a cold blue glow that appears for only a moment before dissolving back into darkness. Think of the comb jellies, or ctenophores. They are not true jellyfish, but ancient travelers of the deep ocean. Along their bodies run rows of tiny, hair-like cilia that beat in perfect synchronization. As they move, they bend and scatter faint light into shimmering rainbows that travel across their bodies like living neon patterns. This is beauty without an audience, a reminder that greatness does not require being seen to exist. You are glowing quietly in your own silence, drifting through a world of pure luminescence. At this depth, pressure is not something heavy or threatening. It feels like the ocean itself is holding you like a slow, constant embrace that keeps every part of you in place so you don't have to. You can finally stop holding yourself together. The ocean is doing it for you. Consider the giant squid, a creature of myth that lives in these dark waters. Its eyes are as large as basketballs, built to detect the faintest traces of light from far away. It moves like a ghost through the black void, its massive heart beating slowly in the cold. Even in the deepest darkness, there is vision. Even when you cannot see the path ahead, something within you already knows the way. Your mind is like that squid, now silent, aware, and effortlessly moving toward rest. Think of marine snow as something celestial. Trillions of microscopic particles fall through the ocean every moment, organic matter drifting downward like an endless snowfall that never stops. Each particle takes weeks to reach the seafloor, floating through invisible currents like a falling star passing through time itself. As you imagine this silent snow, let your thoughts become just as light, just as slow. You are sinking with it into the abyssal plain, where the ocean floor is made of ancient shells, meteor dust, and the remains of life that existed millions of years ago. Here, there is no sound, no movement. The stillness is so absolute that even the smallest disturbance can be felt across vast distances. It is the quietest place in existence. And now you are drifting deeper, not just into the ocean, but into silence itself, into stillness, into rest. As we drift further into the silent heart of the Atlantic, we encounter the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, the longest mountain range on Earth, hidden forever beneath miles of water. Imagine a vast and endless landscape of jagged volcanic peaks and deep valleys stretching from the Arctic all the way down to the Southern Ocean. This is not just a mountain range, it is the spine of our planet, a place where the Earth is slowly pulling itself apart, creating new ocean floor in real time. As you float above these underwater mountains, you begin to feel something beyond imagination, the slow pulse of the Earth itself. Deep within the mantle, molten rock rises from the core, meeting freezing, crushing ocean water. The moment they touch, they harden instantly into smooth, pillow-shaped basalt formations in silent bursts of steam and mineral energy. There is no sound, no explosion, no impact, only a faint vibration that travels through the water and into your body like a heartbeat shared with the entire planet. It feels like the Earth is alive beneath you, breathing slowly, deeply, endlessly. Let your heartbeat begin to match this ancient rhythm, slower, calmer, deeper. You are witnessing the creation of the world in slow motion. These mountains are taller than the Alps, yet they are completely hidden under a permanent fog of mineral-rich water. Everything here is gray, blue, and black, a monochrome cathedral where time itself feels paused. This is a place where the human mind finally stops racing, a place where silence becomes complete. Imagine now that we are descending into the absolute final frontier of our planet, a place so remote and so silent that it feels like the edge of the universe itself. We are entering the Hadal Zone, the deepest trenches of the Earth's crust, a world buried under miles of ocean where pressure is measured in thousands of pounds per square inch, yet everything feels strangely soft, like silk wrapped around existence. This is the realm of the snailfish, one of the most delicate creatures ever discovered. Its body is translucent, almost invisible, and you can see its heart gently pulsing through its skin. It moves slowly, like a ghost drifting through time, completely unbothered by the crushing weight above it. As you watch this fragile spark of life in total darkness, allow your own breath to become lighter, slower, almost weightless. You are no longer a creature of land, bound by gravity, noise, and urgency. You are becoming a creature of the deep. Here, the temperature remains constant and unchanging for degrees Celsius. It never rises, never falls. It is the temperature of absolute stillness, the temperature of eternal calm. Imagine that stillness wrapping around you like a physical force, a thick, invisible blanket of silence. It covers your feet, rises gently up your body, and finally rests over your chest like the ocean itself is protecting you. Every sound from the surface world is gone now. No city noise, no clocks ticking, no movement of wind or trees. Everything has been filtered out by miles of salt water above you. You are inside a natural soundproof chamber built by the planet itself. We have finally reached the very bottom. The floor of the trench is a bed of fine white sediment, as soft as powdered sugar and as quiet as a grave. As you settle into this bed, the ocean floor molds itself to every curve of your body, supporting you with a perfection that no human bed could ever achieve. You are anchored to the earth. Above you, the miles of water act as a shield against the passage of time. Up there, hours are turning into minutes and days are turning into weeks. But down here, there is only the eternal now. You are resting in a place where the concept of tomorrow does not exist. There is only the breath you are taking right now and the one that follows it. The bioluminescent sparks of the deep-sea jellies have faded into a soft, distant blur, like stars seen through a thick fog. The water around you is perfectly still. There is no current here. There is no movement. Even the microscopic particles of marine snow have finished their long journey and have settled around you like a velvet shroud. You are part of the geology of the planet now. You are as steady as a mountain and as deep as the sea. Think of the great tectonic plates beneath you, moving only centimeters every year. That is the speed of your mind now. Your thoughts have slowed to a crawl, becoming long, quiet, drifting impressions, the beginning of dreams. Imagine a single drop of water falling from the surface and taking 1,000 years to reach you here. By the time it arrives, everything you ever worried about will already be gone, turned into dust and salt. This is infinite patience. This is ocean time. You are inside it now. The pressure that once felt like a burden is now a comfort, a constant reminder that you are being held from all sides. You are being looked after by the great blue body of the earth. The salt in your veins is calling to the salt in the water. You are not separate anymore. You are home. Imagine we are drifting even further toward the absolute boundaries of the aquatic world, exploring the anomalies and mysteries that defy everything we know about life on land. As you settle deeper into your rest, think about the Denmark Strait Cataract, the largest waterfall on Earth. Most people think of Niagara or Victoria Falls, but the greatest waterfall is actually underwater. Hidden between Greenland and Iceland, it is formed by the collision of cold water from the Nordic seas and warmer water from the Irminger Sea. The cold water, being much denser, plunges down over an underwater cliff, dropping 11,000 feet in a silent, massive torrent. Imagine the sheer scale of this invisible movement, millions of tons of water falling in perfect, frozen silence. You are floating near the edge of this great descent, feeling the slow, powerful pull of the current as it carries you down into the deep basins of the Atlantic. There is no roar of crashing water, only a rhythmic, low-frequency hum that resonates through your very soul. This is the gravity of the ocean, a force that is constant, ancient, and undeniably calm. Think about the bloop, one of the most mysterious sounds ever recorded in the history of oceanography. For years, scientists listened to this ultra-low frequency sound that echoed across thousands of miles of the Pacific. While some thought it was a giant unknown creature, we now know it was the sound of a massive icequake, the Earth itself, shifting under the weight of the polar caps. Imagine the profound vibration of the planet as it breathes and moves. These sounds are too deep for the human ear to hear normally, but in the silence of your mind, you can feel them. It is a deep, subsonic pulse that acts as the ultimate white noise, masking the chatter of the world above. Below you, the Cuvier's beaked whale is making its extraordinary journey. This creature is the deepest diving mammal on the planet, reaching depths of nearly 10,000 feet. It holds its breath for over 2 hours. descending into the crushing dark where no sunlight has ever reached. Imagine its heart slowing, its body entering total biological meditation. You are joining that whale in stillness. Consider the Sargasso Sea, the only sea on Earth with no land boundaries. It is defined by rotating currents that create a calm center in the North Atlantic. In this sea, sargassum seaweed forms floating golden forests, never touching the ocean floor. Imagine yourself floating in this golden forest, surrounded by perfect stillness. There is no chaos here, only gentle balance. Some parts of the ocean have not moved for thousands of years, ancient water that remembers the early Earth. You are breathing that stillness now. Now think of the thermaline circulation, the great ocean conveyor belt. It is Earth's circulatory system, moving heat and salt across the planet. Every drop of water is on a 1,000-year journey. The water you rest in was once rain, glacier, and deep ocean. Nothing is lost. Everything transforms. In the Hadal zone, xenophytophores survive extreme pressure. They show that softness is also strength. You are becoming like them, calm, intact, unbroken. The ocean floor is filled with stardust from micrometeorites that have fallen for millions of years. You are resting on cosmic history. Deep-sea coral forests grow in total darkness, creating ivory structures of impossible beauty. Life thrives here without light, building worlds no human will ever see. You are part of that unseen beauty now. Marine snow thickens, sounds fade, and the world becomes quieter with every breath. You are crossing the boundary between waking and sleep. The pressure becomes warm and comforting. The darkness becomes soft and complete. There is nothing left to solve, nothing left to hold. The ocean has taken everything. You are small as a grain of sand and vast as the sea itself. You are drifting, sinking, dissolving into the blue. The silence is absolute. The peace is total. The ocean is breathing for you now. The tide is taking you home. Sleep is the only reality. The deep is your only destination. You are home. You are safe. You are at rest. You are the ocean. You are the sleep. You are the deep blue eternity.